Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of our podcast series where we discuss all things innovation, entrepreneurial, and apparel. So today we have with us our Chief Innovation Officer for MS Holdings, Ranil Vitarana. Hi, Ranil. For a change, I'm asking you the questions and you're in the hot seat. Welcome to our podcast. So to start off with, let's go with your trajectory that brought you to becoming the CIO of MS Holdings. How did that journey look like?
My God, I can talk for a few days on that one, but I don't think I ever set out to be a CIO, or I didn't have a clue of where my journey went. Only thing is that I studied as an engineer, and I was pretty certain that I didn't want to be purely an engineer.
And you've mentioned your team, Ranil. Innovation itself is a different kind of a challenge, and the people that go through highs and lows that are quite different to your traditional roles that you take. How do you keep your team motivated?
It's easy and it's difficult. I think it's easy if you understand the nature of what you're doing and that you cannot be 100% right 100% of the time. And you know that you're well-intentioned and you've tried to go and do something, and if you fall short of it, other people might look at you as a person who has not achieved, whereas I would look at it as, okay, what did we learn from this, and how do we make sure that we don't make that mistake again, or what can we do better next time, and things like that. And so for me, I think that just that approach of how you together look at it, I think makes them feel comfortable that you're not looking at them as a failure. So as a result, so then for me as an individual, that person becomes more valuable because they now have that experience of what they've learned from that mistake or from that experience. And I always say that even myself, I am a sum of my failures. Although people might want to look at me as a sum of my success, for me, very clearly, I'm a sum of my failures.
Is there a failure that you want to bring up that you've had like a lot of learnings from? I know everyone thinks you are now CEO. Sounds like a great place to be in, but took a lot of work to get there and a lot of failures as well, I suppose.
Oh yeah, many things. I've actually been sacked.
Really?
Yes. And again, I don't think it was a failure. I just think it's a way that people look at different things. I've had maybe some success with certain technology launches, very, very big ones. Other technologies that we put a certain amount of money behind maybe haven't taken off quite so much. And then looking at that, you sort of try to understand why is it that it's not being successful? Yeah. And then you also learn from that, right? So it's not just about having a good idea, it is about how you execute on it is the second thing. And then thirdly is whether the world is ready for it or not. And so the thing about innovation, I always say, is that it's a little bit like American football. So you throw the ball not to where the player is, but where you think the player is going to be. And so if you're throwing that ball 50, 60 meters ahead, and you're expecting that person to be there, the chances that those things are going to coincide is relatively remote. And so you can do two things. One is that you throw more balls, right, in the hope that they'll coincide, or you have to be able to either predict where the person is going, or you sort of say, okay, that ball went there, but okay, since someone else will come and pick it up, it might not be at that time. It might be a year later, 3 years later or somewhere. So you have to have that kind of patience to do that.
I actually found out recently that you own the most amount of patents at MS. How do you become a prolific innovator?
So I would say there's two ways of doing that. One is that I get everyone in my team who has a patent to put my name on it. But that's not the way I did it. It's a question. But I don't know. What I do is when people come and I'm talking to people and you have these ideas and you sort of keep generating ideas. So you share these ideas with people, and then I have a wonderful team that can really take it and run with it and make it a reality. And then also sometimes when they come up with something that is not working, then I can also give them ideas on what works or not. And then thirdly, I think I also enjoy this whole patent business, because if you really get it, you can own or control a large space without really having created that entire space. The example is like you could be, say, riding, say, a three-wheeler on a road in such a way that no one can overtake you, right? So you are about 1/4 of the width of that road, but you drive it in a way that no one can overtake, right? So the patent world is also a little bit like that. You can inflate yourself and make sure that no one else can, own that part of the road that you're on. So that I think I enjoy as well, and so that has also helped me to create this IP.